Hey there, it's Sonia Miller, speaker, coach, and author, and I'm back again with another Q&A session. And today's question came in from a member of my Summer Synergy program. The purpose of that program is to expand creative possibilities by befriending the unknown. So when I talk about the unknown, I'm always talking about our inner world, consciousness. And we stand on the assumption that consciousness is the cause of every effect in your physical world. So as we empower ourselves with consciousness, with really understanding how to access that untapped power, we start to see powerful experiences and demonstrations in our outer world. So today's question is, how do you disempower or remove negative scripts from replaying in your mind? And she went on to say, they create feelings, and it's good to notice, but I'd like those pointless scripts to go away for good, or at least not to be on constant repeat. So the power of the mind, that's what I want to talk about today. But I want to go deeper, because when we have negative thoughts that replay in our mind, most of us have some incorrect assumptions about what's happening. So one of the first assumptions that we have is that I need to change my thoughts in order to feel better. And that's a really common phrase. There's out there in the personal growth world and in manifestation circles and in all sorts of leadership environments, there's a lot of talk about mindset and the connection between thoughts and the emotions. Now, there's some truth to that, which is your thoughts definitely can generate emotions. Okay, so sometimes we need to address the mechanism of the mind, which is always just going to do what it does. And so one of the ideas that I've heard from, some guru or teacher, I think is really true, which is that you don't think thoughts, thoughts think you. Thoughts come and go. They are kind of like electrical activity in the sky. Lightning happens, electricity happens, thoughts happen. Now, what we do with those thoughts, if we give our attention to them, which is really where the power of not just the mind, but our awareness comes in, that's when we start to tap our power. What are you doing with those thoughts? So one of the other foundational assumptions or premises that we always operate from, kind of in my orbit, is what you resist persists, what you honor can transform. So the first thing to know is that when we are thinking thoughts or having thoughts that keep showing up and they replay, and there's a connection between those thoughts and us feeling badly, it's not enough to work at the mental level, okay? What we need to look at is when we want to change our thoughts in order to feel better, what we're really doing is we are resisting something if they keep looping and looping and looping. Now, sometimes what happens is that we think, I have to change my thoughts in order to feel better. But what we really need to do is look at the resistance that's occurring at the feeling level. So what happens is this: we try to change our thoughts or control our thoughts or redirect our thoughts as a way to resist our emotions, to resist our feelings. We are actually causing the feel bad to persist by trying to always change the fact that these thoughts are looping. So the way to start to transform this kind of gerbil wheel, or this almost like this trap, this catch-22 that happens, is as the thoughts arise that cause pain or cause discomfort, the opportunity is to first become aware, okay, these are the thoughts that feel bad, and then to stop the mental activity and redirect to the emotions and actually honor the emotions that arise with those thoughts. And what I like to teach is We choose to feel. We're not a victim to our emotions, but we choose to honor the emotional energy that arises. We let it come. We let it be. So I'd like to tell a story of an incredibly powerful, defining experience that's related to this. So for most of my earlier life, I had low self-esteem. And I thought that the way to solve the problem of low self-esteem was to become enough of something. So I followed instinct and I just kept pursuing achievement after achievement after achievement. I figured if I had achieved enough, if I got a good job, if I made enough money, if I lost enough weight, if I learned enough information, if I at some point reached an arbitrary level of enoughness, then I would have high self-esteem. Well, I did that for many, many, many years. And while I accomplished a lot and I achieved a lot, that low self-esteem persisted. And about that time, I was learning how to harness the power of my emotions. That's kind of a phrase you'll hear me say a lot. And there came a moment when I realized in my eternal effort to become enough that I never actually honored the pain of not feeling enough. And at that time, I was learning how to feel my feelings, literally almost like a baby learning to walk, because I was doing some healing work around an eating disorder. And so with this awareness of like, oh my gosh, I have tried affirmations, I've tried books, I've tried support groups, I've tried therapy, I've tried achieving and accomplishing, and I still am chasing this feeling of whatever high self-esteem meant. And I realized I'd never felt the pain of feeling badly about myself. So I went into my room, I lit a candle, and I did one of my feelings processes, which I write about in my book, The Attraction Distraction, in the chapter on how to harness the power of your emotions. And I closed my eyes, and I did what I call the breath method, but really it's a modification of what's called the Tonglen meditation, which is where instead of actually trying to push away the pain, or what we often do is if we dare feel our feelings, we feel it and then we breathe it out, like, let me get rid of this pain, let me get rid of this pain. And Tonglen teaches us the opposite. The breath method is breathe in the pain, say yes to it, yes to the fear, let it be. And breathe out acceptance. And so I closed my eyes and I used the phrase that basically I was trying to run away from my whole life as I was pursuing high self-esteem. So there was this phrase that was not enough, not enough, not enough. And it had many different shapes and forms, but it was basically that. So I breathed in the phrase. I just said yes to it. You're a piece of dirt. The language was stronger, but for this video. So I breathe in, you're a piece of dirt. Breathe out acceptance. Breathe in, you're a piece of dirt. Breathe out acceptance. Over and over with my eyes closed, slowing it down. And I started to feel sadness and tears flowed and something started to move in me. And it probably took 30 seconds. It takes however long it takes. And from the depths of my being, I felt and heard this voice rise up and said, "What are you talking about? You're not a piece of dirt. How's that even possible?" But it came from within me. And it was an experience I'd never had before. I kept trying to say affirmations and talk myself into feeling enough from the outside in, through accomplishments in. But when I finally let go of resisting the pain and saying yes to it and honoring it, what you resist persists, what you honor can transform. Something in the depths of my being, my inner wisdom, my inner truth, my soul's truth, which is I already am all that I seek to be, do, and have. That's true for all of us. That knew that was crazy, rose up And I knew it in every cell of my being. How could I possibly be a piece of dirt? Something in me let go. The tears flowed, and I stopped resisting it. And something in me changed forever. And I'm confident in saying I've never had a low self-esteem issue ever since. Now, have I been triggered about what will people think? Or, sure, those little things come up occasionally. But something in me shifted forever. And so in answer to this question, how do you disempower or remove the negative scripts from replaying in your mind? Understand that when you're trying to remove those thoughts, you're actually resisting the emotions that are the glue that hold those thoughts in place. And when you honor the emotions and say yes to them, that glue starts to dissolve and those beliefs can start to release. Is it a quick fix? Sometimes there's layers, we can't say how long it's going to take, but what I can tell you is this works. And trying to change your thoughts through control or affirmations or fixing the negative thinking, that doesn't work. But honoring that the thoughts arise and saying yes to them and honoring the emotions that keep them in place, allowing that to move through you, that then allows the truth of who you are to rise up and be revealed in your inner experience. And then the manifestations in your outer world start to reflect the more embodied experience of your own value. So I hope this was helpful. Try it on for size. Try the breath method. And if you like this, if you found it useful, please like and share. It helps me reach the people that I'm here to serve. And if you have any other questions and want to learn more, just go to successforthesoul.com. Thanks and have a great day. Bye.